All right, welcome inside the post-game podcast. Al, what is on your mind this morning?
Oh, hi there, Jerry. I know how you sometimes do shout-outs, like when you meet people
Yeah, I do.
In places, and they're very kind and they're listeners.
Very nice people out there.
Yes. So yesterday, I got a DM from a woman named Anne Marie, Jerry, and she had information for me as to where Bon Jovi lives. Explaining.
Well, I thought you told me you knew.
Well, I was not sure which body of water Bon Jovi was.
Was I correct?
Well, I think it's the Navesink River. Yeah,
that
leads
separates
into there.
Middletown and Red Bank.
And she said a lot of people will go by, like Bon Jovi's house is not set far back the way the Bruce Springsteen house is. So she said people will go by there, and you see a lot of people taking photographs out there.
This is what I'm talking about, why you can't live on the beach.
Correct. That is correct. Then she also told me this, Jerry. She said, I saw Jerry Recco one time in Kohl's.
Okay.
But I was too nervous to talk to him.
Aw, come on.
You're a very
No.
big star, Jerry.
She should have
Bon
said hi.
Jovi, Bruce Springsteen, Jon Stewart, me and you, top 5 Jersey celebrities.
Anne Marie, and right. Matter of fact, I think the Cape May rest stop is the Alan Jerry rest stop. now.
Yeah, it was way down there.
The
So a lot of,
Parkway.
a lot of
people don't see it, but
don't
it's
see
down
it.
there.
Trust us.
Anne Marie, anytime you see me, please say hello.
That's what I said. I said, Jerry and I love to
Yeah,
meet people,
absolutely. Especially in Kohl's.
especially in a Kohl's.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm sure I was there with my kids, probably shopping for my wife.
Maybe.
That's usually when I go to Kohl's.
By the way, big goofy guys have no problem coming up to us.
That is
It'd be
true.
nice if every once in a while it was a female.
I've had a few.
Change it up every now and then.
I've had a few.
A few females.
Yeah, a few. Not a lot. A few.
Yeah, I
A
think
few.
you. I like when you meet a couple and both of them know who you
I
are.
could not agree more.
Because a lot of time the woman has no idea. And she's
Always
like, why
awkward
are-
when the guy knows and the
Yeah.
woman's staring at you like, and I'm supposed to know this person. Why?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awkward.
The most awkward though is if you're in a public place and a guy is excited to see you.
Yes.
And the people that are also in the public place are looking at you like, am I supposed
Should
to
I be
know?
taking a picture
Yeah,
of
am I
this?
supposed to know who
or-
this schmuck is over here?
Right. Well, I went to high school with that idiot.
Yeah. What's he doing over here?
Exactly. Well, that's why also you got to get out of your hometown
Yes.
because you run into people you've grown up with.
Right. And
Really?
they're not as impressed.
Right. So, like when you go to Bradley Beach, it's like, whoa, Al Dukes moved to Bradley Beach. You go back to Colonia? Nah.
Now they'll be like,
Right.
whatever.
Exactly.
What else do I have here for you, Jerry? Oh, I thought of this the other day, and it's weird because we did the story on the warm-up show
Yeah.
today, which comes up after this, and it was a topic on Boomer and Gio. And it was a story about how this guy on the assistant GM of the Detroit Tigers had sent wiener pics to some women that work at the Tigers and at MLB baseball. These were unsolicited. They didn't want the wiener pics. Okay. So I've been thinking about this as I walk my dog, and I feel like realtors are in a weird spot.
Okay.
So female realtors will put their photos on their realtor signs.
Yeah.
Men do as well, but I'm thinking about the women for this. And then on the sign, it'll say office number, cell phone.
Yeah.
And I just think, do
Not smart.
random guys just
I'm sure they do.
text message weird things to these women?
I'm sure they do. I have a couple of female friends that are realtors. I could ask them.
You ask them, say, well, when you put your sign up, because a lot of times, like your realtor photo is the best
Mm-hmm.
you're going to look.
Sure.
Right? It's a beautiful photo.
Usually done professionally.
Done professionally. It's airbrushed. It looks wonderful. So when you walk by the sign, you go, look at this attractive real estate agent.
It is so funny
And there's her cell phone.
that you brought this up because by where my son goes to high school, I drove when I was going to pick him up yesterday because practice was canceled with the rain. There is a really nice house for sale not too far from the high school, and I saw beautiful woman on the her picture is on the for sale sign on the lawn, phone number and everything. I think there's even an email address on it. I'm
Right.
thinking, wow, that's a little bit too much information. Office number's fine. I get that. Even a business email address is fine. When you start putting your cell phone number,
I know, but they're in such a competitive business, right?
I know. And the difference between a sale and not a sale could be. I told you before I bought this house, we put a bid on a house that we loved. The people that walked out as we were walking in to see it beat our bid by about 15 minutes, and they accepted. And it was like, so yes, you're right. Time is of the essence, especially now when there's not a huge inventory, but it's a dangerous game.
Yeah, it seemed very strange because, all of us get unsolicited phone calls,
All the time.
for, every scam or whatever.
Yeah.
If you're a real estate agent, you have to pick up every one of those
Yep.
calls because you don't know if it's a potential buyer, renter. You got to pick it up.
Correct. And you're not going to know a lot of numbers. You're just not. And so you don't know if you got a creep on the other end or a potential buyer. It stinks.
That seems like one of the most competitive jobs I can think of.
Okay.
Just because you're out there with not only in your own office alone, you're competing,
Sure.
then every office
Yeah.
in your town.
That and selling cars, I think. There's a million car dealerships. And within a car dealership, there could be, like I went to Pine Belt, Lakewood, Pine Belt Chevy down in Lakewood. You know Dan Ariel, who runs that place.
Oh, yeah.
So I went down to specifically look at something, and he's like, I'll set you up with someone. I'm like, thank you. Because, you don't want to walk in and be you walk in, that place is so popular. They must have had, I'm not joking, they must have had 15 salespeople. And most of them had a client. That's competitive.
Yeah, but at least they're walking in.
Yeah, but you also need to get the people to come in because there's 1,000 places you can go.
Yeah.
Same thing with a realtor. There's a million realty companies you can call. Like, I don't know. I couldn't imagine starting out how difficult that is to get your sea legs under you.
When you to first get started. Yeah, it seems very competitive. You're competing with your own office. You're competing in your own town. You're competing against all the other towns. You got to take every phone call that comes through. I would think, too, like any sales job, you could get the runaround a lot.
Oh, for
sure.
sure.
You take somebody through
and then
200
not
homes.
interested.
Yeah, and then even trying to, like, in this market where we're at now, like if you go to a car dealership to buy a car and you're going to buy a new car.
Sure, you know what you're getting.
Yeah, and you can think about it because if that new Nissan
That's
isn't
true.
available, there's another one like that. But if you're going to get like a used car and you're like, this has got the perfect amount of miles, it's what I'm looking for, you got to make a decision.
Correct.
And the way the housing market is now, you have to make a decision whether you're buying a place the minute you see it.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
Like if you're going to an open house and you like that house, you better have an offer ready.
There was a house in Homedale on, I guess it was Saturday or Sunday. I forget what day it was. We drove by it. The amount of cars that were in the driveway for this open house. And you sit there and you're like, why? Well, why? There's not a lot of houses for sale.
Right.
And how about that in terms of a waste of time if you're a realtor? The open house, which certainly can grab bids and people are interested. You know how many people are coming through an open house that have no interest in the house at all?
Right. They
Just wasting
want-
your time.
Yeah. A lot of times, like, and I'm one of those people, sometimes I'll walk through an open house. Sometimes you go, I wanted to see how they had the kitchen set up. Oh, really? Well, let me just be that for you.
I know.
Right?
Yeah, I know. I've gone to a good handful of open houses. I much preferred the appointment walkthrough.
No, if you're a serious buyer, I think it's better to make appointments. That's why I think you're right. Open houses are like a lot of people that are just like, I could kind of move if I found the right place.
You never know.
You never know.
But that to me is okay. I think if you're on the fence about moving or not, sometimes an open house, be like, you know what? I didn't realize, like the house we lost out on. I liked the house because it was a flip. And you could see online on the pictures that it was gutted and there was nothing to do. It had everything brand new. It was right up my alley. Front was okay. It was in a cul-de-sac, which was nice. I had no idea that the backyard was as big as it was. So when we got through the house, which was 100, we were looking at each other like, yeah, we're going to bid on this place. When I opened up the screen door to go outside, I'm like, holy crap, look at this. Now I ended up with a house, the yard's probably bigger, but this was so, I knew that though. In this house, I didn't. And had I not gone to that open house, I would have never known. And maybe I wouldn't have made a bid just based on that. But it changed my mind like that.
Yeah.
So it can work. I'm talking more the people that are not in the market. And they are going because, like most people around here, that you've got nothing to do on a Sunday afternoon if you don't want to go spend money at a restaurant or go shopping.
Yeah, it's free
Let's
entertainment.
go look at an open house.
Yeah.
That's what I mean in terms of the realtors. I just feel like they're wasting their time.
Because if you're a serious buyer, you have to go to the open house with all of your what do they call that,
Pre-approvals. Yeah.
pre-approvals,
Yeah.
because you got to make a move. These
For
houses
sure.
are like boom.
Yeah, and then the problem there is even if you have a pre-approval in your back pocket, there are cash buyers out there.
I hate the cash buyer, Jerry.
Yeah, well, it's impressive if you can be a cash buyer. Yep.
Yeah, you can be a cash buyer if, like, you have a family, your family goes off to college, your family meets someone in college and gets married, and then it's you and your wife, and you go downsize.
Oh, for sure. I'm
Oh,
already
then-
thinking about downsizing.
Then you are paying cash for that next house, Jerry.
Yeah. I mean,
Little equity.
I like my house. I do. I like as many issues as it has given me, and it's given me plenty, as you know. I do. I like the house. I like where it is. I love the yard. All of that's fantastic. I see how much it's worth, though. I was looking at my wife and I'm like, I mean, I don't know, Pennsylvania, but I don't want to move there. That's the problem.
I know.
And I don't want to give up. It's such a pain in the ass. It is such. And then I'm like, you know what? Maybe sell and rent somewhere. But then rental rates are crazy.
Yes, rental rates are crazy.
I mean, you're talking more than what my mortgage is for a house that's maybe 2/3 the size. Like, what?
Oh,
what?
yeah. There's some apartments in town that are average apartments, and I know some people in them. They're paying more than what my mortgage is.
Yeah, it is. I don't know how a young person does it right now.
I don't
really,
either.
I don't. I do
no
not.
idea.
Unless they're living in mom and dad's basement apartment, I don't know how they do it. No idea.
Yeah, it seems very difficult now.
Yeah. And we went over the tickets yesterday, and we were
Yeah.
going over, $100,000 of income.
It's like you can't do it here. You'd have to
Correct.
go move somewhere, buy an affordable house, then
But
stay
where
there a
is
while.
that?
I
though?
don't know.
You tell me it's not California. You want to tell me Florida? Okay, where are you working? Disney World? Like, now if you have a remote job, now those are the people that have the upper hand.
Yes.
If you have a job that's 100% remote, or you own your own business, and your business is movable or is online, something like that, now you're in position to live wherever you want to live. I don't have that. Rutgers is in New Jersey. This place is in New York City. All right, the cowboy gig, I could be anywhere, sure. But you can't just pick up and move as much
Yeah.
as I'd like to.
Yeah, not easy, Jerry.
It's tough. Very difficult.
So another topic all over social media, and it's this idea of there's something called the dire wolf. It's a type of wolf.
Oh, like a real animal?
Yeah, like a real animal.
Okay.
It's a type called the dire wolf.
All right.
It has been extinct for 10,000 years,
10,000 years.
and science has just brought it back.
What are we doing? Why?
Yeah, do you think we should be doing that, Jerry?
No, I
don't
don't.
either.
Why would you bring this back?
I don't know why they're. It's like it's the cover of Time magazine. I think Joe Rogan just had somebody on as a guest with this. I did not listen to that, but I saw that was the topic. But then I started seeing this on social media with the picture of Time magazine. They're bringing back this dire wolf. I guess it's already back. This thing's going to start eating us, Jerry.
Is that what it does?
I don't know. Well, there's no way if it eats humans they would bring it back.
Dire wolves were larger, heavier canids?
Canines.
It says CANIDS than modern gray wolves with a more robust build, larger jaws and larger teeth,
What?
and a wider head. They went extinct approximately 10,000 years ago.
But and why are we bringing them back? Is the
All right,
question.
behavior. Dire wolves are loyal to their masters and will attack anyone who threatens them.
Ooh, maybe I get a dire wolf.
You better get one as a puppy.
Yeah, as a puppy,
Make
so
sure it was
it's friends with me.
But these are dogs, though?
no, I think they're wolves.
Well, you can't have a wolf in your
Oh.
house. Come on now.
Great point.
Yeah, I tell you what, did you see the thing I saw yesterday where they found a very well-preserved dog head from like 1,000 years ago? And it was preserved because of where it was buried.
Like with the fur on it and everything?
No, it looked more petrified, but the jawline and the teeth were very obvious. And it was it was preserved because of the concrete or whatever stone that it got trapped under when it was buried, that they unearthed it somehow like a couple weeks ago.
Let's bring that thing back to life.
Well, that's my point. Like, you can have the DNA of that, I imagine, and I guess they can create this stuff.
Yeah, let's
It's
get
freaky,
it going.
man. We are
Yeah,
we are living in a very dangerous time.
Yeah, I don't think we should be able to bring back animals like that because what if it doesn't go in our ecosystem now?
I
It's
agree.
Stirring up trouble.
Did you see the robot that mimics a horse now
No.
that's out there?
Can you ride the robot?
Yes, you can. Yes, you
Maybe
can.
we start taking robot horses into work. easy to
Yeah,
park.
they're called cars.
Oh, cars. Yeah, we could do
Right.
that. We just take our cars in.
Yeah, it is, man.
I saw a thing on 60 Minutes. There's a research facility at Duke that just researches dog behavior.
Okay.
And I found this one interesting thing about dogs, that because they have been with us all these years,
Mm-hmm.
our companion animals all these years, that a dog puppy will do something that no other animal, young animal, can do. And that is, if a researcher takes like a ball and shows the dog the ball, and then behind its back it puts the ball in one of the cups.
Mhm.
There's 2 cups. Then puts the 2 cups in front, and the researcher points to the cup that the ball is in, the dog will go to that ball.
No
The
kidding.
dog understands pointing, where the wolf puppy does not understand pointing. Even a monkey, a baby monkey,
Which is supposed to be more like us.
is supposed to be smart like us.
How about that?
So you could point to things
You
for
can
a
try
dog.
this trick with Whimsy today?
Yeah, I'm going to just start pointing to stuff.
Bite your finger off. Point at me.
Why would a monkey not understand
I don't know.
pointing?
I don't know.
I get a wolf not.
I
being
don't
like,
know.
What is going on here?
The monkey I always thought was the next smartest animal. I
Yeah.
thought, but maybe not.
Did you ever pet an exotic cat like
No.
a lion or tiger?
No.
No, I'm saying like as a cub, like where you went to like a
No.
zoo.
No, never. Not that I'm aware of. Even all the times I went to SeaWorld, I don't even think I pet the fish or anything.
The
Nothing.
orca.
No, I don't believe
What
so.
about a stingray? You ever get to
No.
touch one of those
Nope.
things?
No. I've seen them, but never did that.
Opie and Anthony one time had a tiger cub in the studio. Petable. It was a petable one. It was
With
still
its trainer?
yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, David Letterman did that for years and years, too. When
Yeah.
The trainer came on. It was Jack Hanna, right?
Jack
It was the
Hanna.
guy that came on with the exotic animals?
Yes, from the Columbus Zoo.
Yeah. That's kind of neat. I'm still freaked out by the safaris.
Yes.
Like, and I don't want to say what Eddie did, but to an extent, what Eddie did, like being that close to what are really wild animals. And the African safaris to me are just the idea that all of a sudden, just because someone's a tour guide, that this wild animal isn't going to be, I don't know, hungry in that moment and want to eat you.
Or is just annoyed by you, or
Right.
the perfume someone's wearing.
Correct. Where something triggers it to become violent. I know those trips go for a lot of money. No thanks.
I saw one where this and everything turned out well. It wasn't meaning any harm. This safari group was going in, and by the way, a cart that was wide open,
Yeah.
like a bus that was open on the sides, and this lion came in and was playing with the guy driving the thing, like was mauling him playing, and was laying across rows of people. And people
Oh my
were like
God.
frozen, because they didn't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But this guy acted like, oh, this lion does this all the time.
Could
on the
literally
tour.
just eat you in two bites.
Could eat all of us.
I mean, and wouldn't think anything.
Wouldn't even know.
No, wouldn't know. It's doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is nuts.
Mm.
I saw someone, maybe it was our guy, the guy on Twitter, ML Football.
Oh yeah, ML
Posted a lot
football.
of good stuff. He must be in Italy. He posts these at the Roman Coliseum. You went there, right?
I did. Yeah.
Was that so? The video he posted was very cool. It's got to be chilling though, no?
Yeah, it's weird that this thing has been standing there for.
And what went on?
Yeah, right. Killing people versus lions and things. Very strange.
When you went there, do you go like a stadium tour? Are there like the chambers and do you see everything from inside?
I didn't go. You can see it from walking around. You could see the chambers
you
down
can?
below. I don't know if they were doing tours at that time I went,
Got it.
or if they were doing some sort of restoration with it. But yeah, just being in there is weird because it doesn't seem old when you're in there.
Mm.
But what's weird is there's parts of Italy like that. I'm sure there's like this in other parts of the world too, where everything around it is modern.
Except that.
And then there's just this ancient relic just sitting there. Meanwhile, there's like a paved circle where cars are going around
And a
it.
Domino's.
Yeah, right, Domino's Pizza right there. Very weird.
That is cool though.
Yeah.
I have, as you know, I really have very little interest in traveling abroad right now. That is something I need to see though
Yeah.
at some point.
Yeah.
That and the pyramids.
I'd love to
at
see the
some
pyramids.
point I've got to see those two
I
things.
know.
when, I don't know, but especially not with college. It's just
And there's that thing in Greece. I think it's in Greece, the Parthenon or
okay.
Parthenon.
Well, I don't know what's that.
It's this huge structure
Really?
from way back.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's a cool one too. Looks cool.
How about that? I know
How about
Tiki was
that?
in Morocco for his birthday.
Oh,
It's a nice little birthday gift as he
Yeah.
turns 50. I went to Applebee's.
I was at a restaurant in Belmar.
Actually, to be honest with you, I don't think I did anything for my 50th. I didn't. Neither me nor my wife did anything for our 50th. We had something going on home, and we just kind of bypassed
It just
it.
came and went, and that was it.
They kind of did, yeah. And we've said we were going to go away for our 50th. We couldn't. I think it was because of sports. I don't remember. And then we were going to do something this year, but something else has come up, and now I don't think we're doing.
Things pop up.
Yeah. So maybe 52.
52
That'll
would
be the
neat.
big one.
Be a unique one
Maybe.
to do.
Maybe we'll see.
All right, Jared, let's do the warm-up show. Tomorrow is Wednesday,
Wednesday.
and we'll see you back here. And then Thursday, Friday, you're hosting with Gio
Yes, this is what I'm
as
told.
the boom is out.
Yes, sir.
So